Best YouTube chat. Watching on YouTube because I don't want drops. Hashtag different. Yeah. You're so fucking different, bro. I'm different, but bad. You know? Max, there are new Midnight songs. Yeah, I don't think their new album came out yet, right? They just released a song from it. I think there's more on Apple Music. Max, are you in the facility yet? No, but I'm glad you asked. Because I'm going to ask them right now. When can I move in? Alright. Fine, fine, I'll go live. Fine. Everyone keeps asking me, so. Right. I'm here. I'll do my job. Can you do 140 keys today? Huh? No. I won't be doing it. How has streaming 7 days in a row affected your mental health? I'm glad you asked. Not good. You know what's not affecting my mental health really well? Frosty K having this few buttons on my UI here. I don't like it one fucking bit. When are you supposed to use your rider, guys, in your opener? Like right as you pillar or something? I feel like you waste a breath global though. You think right before pillar? Okay. You're sitting with 688 eye level. Is that okay for week 1? Is that the highest possible? I have no idea what the highest possible eye level is. Because, like, you might be able to craft and stuff. I actually don't know. From eye level rankings, looks like all of the top are 688. Yeah. Wait, I need to get a Reshi wraps on my Death Knight, huh? Frosty K chains are feeling dog water. I mean, it doesn't play that bad. It's just sadness. It's just sadness. You want to use all your empowering room weapons in your pillar? Like later in the thing? Oop, some pooling here unintentionally. So imagine you want to go into your shit here, like... Oh shit. It's up here, dude. Oh, I got it. That's fucking sick. It doesn't feel bad. It's just I miss old breath, that's all. I do like playing Riders as opposed to Deathbringer. Having the homies is kind of neat. Yeah. Dude, Riders is like one of the coolest themed hero talents by far, right? Top 3, probably. Absolute banger. And your movement skill is this. Alright, close your eyes, Paladins. It's not ending right now. It's still going. Oh, also can't be knocked back or slowed as well.
You want us to abandon our hunt for Zalata?
Dimensius the All-Devouring is being... The Koresh Trust has tasked me with stopping Dimensius and defending Tazavesh.
The brokers are from Koresh?
The All-Devouring's attack left us refugees. The Shadowlands...
Yo, Max, great stream so far. Keep it up. Thanks for little bro. Are you maining DK this season? Nah. This is my 4th character. That I'm doing this thing on, so. I'm just, it's a rework class, so chances of it being strong statistically are really high. But, yeah, I don't know. It just, kind of, I just feel like DK is not, it used to be more fun, and they made it less fun for me, Frost, so it's a little bit of a bummer. That's the main reason I don't really want to play it. Havoc is a blast currently. Yeah, Havoc sounds really fun. I'm honestly... I don't know if I'm leaning DK or leaning Havoc, but I could definitely see myself... So I know if they come out with a new DH spec this patch, I'm playing that shit for sure. So I might already want to have it geared, but current Havoc is actually like pretty fun.
Hello, traveler. Wait, what was I going to ask about? Oh, you're right. Tools. Could you assist my assistant and swipe some tools from the Shadow Guard?
Oh, did they change it so there's an actual thing taking you here now? Oh, that's good. Yesterday this wasn't here. Or maybe it was here yesterday and I personally didn't get it on like 2 or 3 of my characters.
Do you wish to trade?
Is Frosty K still crit mastery? Or mastery crit? Mastery crit. Cool.
Always a pleasure.
Max, have you ever mained tank? Yeah, I tanked from the end of WOD all the way through the end of BFA. Anywhere from world rank 10 to first. Why'd you stop? Raid leading on the outside is insanely OP. Max, were you the first 21st man? No.
A new division of shadow.
I was not the person to invent 21st manning. I was just the one to popularize it. We were the first people to win doing it. Yo, guys, remember to check the group finder here. The title will tell you all you need to know. But basically, you need to be 681 plus eye level, and they're showing you which trinket they need to have traded. If you guys trade the pieces, you get gold, shown on the screen. Sign up now. Jesus was the first. Yeah, Jesus was truly the first 21st man, if you think about it. Shout out Jay. I already done all 6 traded trinks and made 250k. There you go, dude. Why do this Mythic Zero thing? I remember that before you guys never did this. They made Mythic Zero rewards better, and maybe most importantly, they added them to be done the week before anything else can be done, so it's the only thing to do. That's why we're doing it. Basically, like full transparency, we're basically utilizing nothing else being able to be done this week for a very, very slight optimization for our splits by making sure all of our characters are a little stronger, and also all of our potential main characters have an item just in case something else doesn't drop, just like right away. But like if you're going to say, yo, you're going to replace all this shit next week, you're right. Which is also why, maybe for the first time ever, this is probably the best deal you're ever going to get as someone like running splits, right? Like think about what you normally get for splits. We're paying you a lot of gold, but we're asking you to give up your heroic clear. Like you're not going to get multiple pieces of heroic. Yeah, you're filling your vault, but like you're not getting any loot that drops. That's why we're paying you a lot, and it's great. This week is like kind of free gold because this gear pretty much only matters to us and cannot matter to any of you. So if you're of the eye level, this is honestly the best deal you're ever going to get. First time it's ever happened as well. And we're probably only doing it for another day or two. Do you think this will decrease the number of normal runs needed? No. All right, 1 second. Right back. Yeah. Oh, all the liquid groups got filled. I'll let you know when they're up again. Dude, where's the coolest place in the world to just AFK and yap in all of Azeroth, bro? Pandaria somewhere? Grizzly Hills? I hate to be the one to say it, but Grizzly Hills is mid and is hard carried by music. What's gonna happen to me, huh? Oh. I'm gonna get fucking crazy shit on. Alright, that's what's gonna happen to me. Jesus Christ. Max, how are you guys feeling about the chance to sweep the expansion with world firsts? I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, basically that sounds great, but only because it means that we win this race. But I don't really care about the, like, expansion sweep thing. I don't think that really matters. Someone in chat said that would also suck, though. No, the fuck it wouldn't. That'd be sweet as hell. That'd be fucking cool. What do you mean? That'd be fucking sick. No, that'd be boring, bro. Fuck off. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. A method win would be the most hype outcome of this race? No, it would not. What are you guys fucking cooking up right now? You're just fucking saying things. That would suck bad.
Shadow God harry us from all sides, even across plains. We must not be caught off guard.
Max, have you guys or Echo got any talent to the roster? No, I think we all got worse, bro. High key. But Method, though. Method went crazy. Yo, Max, how is your ego gonna take it if Method wins? Probably not well. That wouldn't make me feel good at one bit. It would make me feel bad, actually. Because that means I would lose. Ego? I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't think we're, like, unbeatable, like there's no way we could lose. I think everyone's pretty good. We've been winning recently because we've been playing better, but I wouldn't have, like, ego death if I ever lost at something. I lose at stuff all the time. Yeah. That's okay. But also that would suck crazy style. I would not like that one bit. Do you get less money if you lose? In the short term, no. But actually, wait, I think there might be some kind of contract stipulation where we make some money if we win. It's something like that, but it's like a relatively small number to like how much the races make in general. But in the short term, I don't think we really make any more money if we win. But like in the long term, winning means our next contract is bigger, maybe, or something like that. I don't know. Isn't the liquid contract done after this race? No, no. I think our contract runs through next year, like the entirety of next year. I think it's like basically the beginning of 2027 is when our contract runs up. So I'm assuming we'll start usually about a year out from those contracts you start negotiating. So I'm sure after this race we would start negotiating again. So I mean, we would be in all likelihood probably still contracted for the next 2 races after this, no matter what. You are profitable. There's no major reason for Liquid to not continue with you guys. I mean, hey, I like what you're saying right now. That sounds fucking sweet. You know what? You're right. We are fucking awesome. Liquid should pay us infinite money. Agree. Deal. I'm sorry this is a dumb question, but how does Liquid benefit and make money from your partnership? So I guess probably the main one is, well, it's actually interesting. It changed a lot, I think, since we joined. So like when we initially joined, a big part of it was Liquid's Twitch deal. Like they had so orgs back in the day, by back in the day I mean like 5 years ago, had Twitch deals, and Twitch would basically partner with esports orgs, and what Twitch would pay you a bunch of money, and what you gave Twitch back in return is like hours watched or like hours streamed with the Liquid brand. But now basically those contracts are just completely gone from the esports industry. As far as I know, not a single org has one. Team Liquid is, I think, actually the first org to sign one of those with Twitch, and one of the last ones to have one. But I don't think those exist anymore. So that's part of the monetary thing that's just like not part of the space anymore. But to give you a quick answer, you know, when people sponsor the race, like if Team Liquid has a partner like Monster or Alienware or you know, Zenny, or what in the past was like Jersey Mike's and Honda, all that stuff, like those brands pay Team Liquid a sum to be sponsors of Team Liquid. They give Team Liquid money, and what Team Liquid gives them in return is marketing, right? So like during the race, we'll do the Honda MVP of the day, or the bunch of Alienware Coinbase shit, you know, the Jersey Mike's listen in. Those all just generate revenue for Liquid. So so these productions that we put on, they cost multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars to do, but they make more money than that money that they put in. So that's, I guess, pretty basic. They just make more money than that every time to offset it. And then so that's how they make money a little bit. Plus there's like some like winning culture. Like there's like this weird unforeseen, like basically only people in marketing would be able to make up the like the imaginary marketing funny money you make by impressions gained by doing things, and having an overall culture of winning, bringing an esport winning thing to Team Liquid also, which we win a lot. That like gives Team Liquid some credibility, and over the long term, like associating an org with winning is a really good thing. And Team Liquid's like, I think, won the most, or up there with the most championships in like almost all of esports. So being a part of that is important, being a contributing winning team. But I don't know, probably some other shit than that, but it's basically the first thing. Max, wasn't part of the deal you getting ownership in TL? Yeah. How do negotiations work? In general, uh, like this person's like, hey, join our team, and you're like, okay, well, what are you gonna give me for it? And then they're like, I'll give you this, and you're like, okay, that's cool, but what about this? And then they're like, maybe a little bit less than that. And then you're like, okay, well, what about this? And then they're like, okay, deal, and then you sign a deal. It's like that. Do you have an agent? Yeah. Does the whole team have to agree to the contract? I mean, largely, yeah. Like when we were doing our contract negotiations initially, the officers would meet with like Team Liquid and like or and Complexity and the other orgs and like hear their offer out, and then we would basically just as a group of people argue on behalf of the guild, and then we would keep them updated throughout the process. Had multiple guild meetings and kind of explain what we came to, and yeah. So you have like a small group of people, some non-raiders actually, um, that were like in charge of like hearing out all those proposals. That's not something that 20, 30 people even want to be involved in. So I imagine your agent does a lot of the back and forth talk, but does he come to you at all or just kind of pitch a final offer? Yeah, I mean agents do agent stuff. They like argue your value for you, which is nice. It's really awkward to do that. They probably end up making you more money than you pay them, which is why they exist. Do all the guild members get paid? Yeah. Did anyone leave the guild because they didn't like the contract? No. I mean, we made sure there's nothing in the contract that's like weirdly predatory or anything, or else we wouldn't have signed it in the first place, and the guild members wouldn't have trusted us with negotiations if we would have. How much bargaining power do you have when it comes to contract negotiation, or do you kind of take what you can get? I mean, the last time we were up for a contract negotiation, we left our current team in lieu of one that gave us a better deal. So, I guess we have bargaining power. Were there any other teams interested around the time you were talking to Team Liquid? Oh, yeah. What are you guys doing to get ready for raid? Running some Mythic Zero. Speaking of that, a few more people in the group finder. Liquid 681 plus Trinket Trader. Agient Trinkets. Let's go. Keyhole. Is there a world where Liquid and Echo would be under the same team and compete that way? I don't think so. I mean, that sounds kind of bad and not fun. Like, I think kind of what you're... If I'm going to put any kind of realistic scenario that makes sense in, is like... Okay. Like... Couple years from now, like 5 years, 10 years. No one really cares about the race anymore. WoW's still going on, but like the race and WoW are just fucking hanging on by a thread. And we're just trying to like make money for our boys in some way. And there's only one interested party, and it's one team, and they don't want to lose. And you know how they don't want to lose? They pick up Liquid and Echo. They have a you know, whatever their org is, they have an NA and EU WoW team. This isn't unheard of. This has been done before. Method used to have multiple teams in MDI, TGP, PvP. But even then, that's so weird. But like some orgs do that. Like Team Falcon or whatever is doing that now. Like the Saudi EWC or whatever. I think Team Falcon is the singular only team that actually has a functioning esports team in every single category of the esports World Cup. So they're basically guaranteed to win. As far as I know, or had it explained to me. So, like, you could just do that in WoW if you wanted to. Viewership will drop a lot if there's no competition, though. Yeah, probably. We actually talked about that in Discord the other day. Like, what would we do if, like, there was actually no competition? Like, if, like, basically how Method felt going into BFA. Like, you could just stream your Race World first stuff. You could actually stream lighter hours, and just no matter what, you would just still win because you're just that much better than everyone else that's actually trying, or you're the only one trying. And would we even find that fun, was the point of conversation. And the answer was yeah. Like, even if there was no external stakes, like there was no one actually realistically beating you, just simply the process of us doing what we do now and going through the raid alone would still be insanely fun to do. As far as it being fun to watch, I actually still think a lot of people would watch that. Especially with as infrequent as it is. But certainly you'd lose some viewers, because there are some people who are viewing it purely for the competitive aspect. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people would still watch for vibes / you're still watching a feat in gaming. You know, you're watching someone do something that hasn't been done before that's almost impossible. That still exists. There's just not two teams going for it. And honestly, there's been a few races that have pretty much been like that. There have been multiple races, ones where we've won and lost, where basically one person was in the lead the whole time and was like clearly going to win. And viewership was still great. Now, if that happened for a long period of time, it would probably fall off, but I don't think as much as you think it would. Yeah, it's like watching a crazy speed run, yeah. Speed run less is like achieving something for the first time kind of thing. When are you headed to the HQ for the race? I actually just reached out. I said, when can I move in? And they said, asking now. I know the broadcast production team arrived yesterday and everything is upside down right now. Is there a day you'd prefer to move in? Tomorrow or Friday. Basically ASAP. Why are we just flying around and not gaming? I don't know. There's really nothing for me to do right now in game. Right? Like, I could do Mythic Zeros. I could gear up these characters a little higher. Some of these characters are legit in Shadowlands gear. But why? Like, why? I'll just, like, when the race is over, which is realistically the next time I'm playing these characters anyway, I can just, like, set up a viewer group and just get carried through heroic and get every single item heroic eye level. I feel like any time I spend doing that now is just a waste. Or crazy idea, just have fun playing the game now. Yeah, I could do that. If it was fun to do content with no stakes like Mythic Zero, I would do that. Like if Mythic Plus was out right now, I'd be fucking gaming, even with no rewards. But like all the available content is just really easy. It's funny how exactly the inverse of your answer to that question yesterday. Yesterday you just said, I just want to play the game. Yeah, yesterday I was playing the game. I was doing like a little quest chain. I did like one Mythic Zero dungeon and I'm good. Yeah. I'm good, man. So why don't you let us watch some of your Mythic Zero runs? Why are we watching you fly around? Oh, you don't get the stream. That's fine. Max, other than the last boss, which boss are you excited about the most? Oh. Okay, well, obviously the one right before that. Nexus King. I think Nexus King is going to be... I think Nexus King is probably going to be the coolest looking boss in WoW history. Just straight up. Not talking about how fun it is to do, how hard it is, none of those things. Purely a race to world first aesthetic, like I'm watching a boss that looks really cool. I think this will be the coolest looking boss ever. Dude, the Gimp boy, 49 months, holy moly. Show the model of the boss? I can, but it doesn't look that cool. He's just a guy with some stuff on. Got a little Dargan too. Did you change your mind on Frost? No. I'm just flying around, man. Max, do you plan on playing Mop Classic at all? I remember you talking about Mop nostalgically. Nah. No. Classic? Dude, I didn't have nostalgia for the early Classic titles because I just didn't play them really. And then Wrath I like kind of played and I was like, okay, dude, this is what I'm finally going to be like. I can log into Classic and enjoy it. Because I wish I could, man. It'd be great for Twitch viewership. I'd have more content all year round. Then it got to Kata, which I played a lot, and now it's at Mop, which was my favorite expansion ever. And just every time I log in and try to play, it's just like, this is just worse than retail. Like, the only thing I care about is gameplay, and I think retail gameplay is better than everything. I used to think Mop was like the best gameplay ever in this game. And most of that was like rose-tinted glasses, because I had so much nostalgia for it. As much as there were some things in Mop that were really nice, and it was kind of the birth of like kind of how modern retail feels. Like, 14 years of updating the game, turns out it just like ends up being a better game. So I just end up playing it and stopping. Max, what about the OSRS grind people have been on? No, I don't really care. I've never tried to play that game or anything. I don't know how it works. I'm not into it. I'm also not part of that like group of content farming like jump to the big event thing. I don't know any of those people. They're not, I'm not like friends. I'm not like I don't dislike them, but I'm just not part of that group, so I don't do that stuff. Largely seems like if I can guess, like I haven't really watched any of the old school RuneScape thing, but I imagine it's like people from the WoW Classic Hardcore thing that were just looking for another thing to make an event and get together and like try to make something that catches on. And I just don't know any of those people and was never interested in that in the first place, so I just am not doing it. Dude, if I could go back in time, though, just like we're in the year 2050 and we have a time machine where you can go back somewhere for like 2 months and do whatever you want. Bro, I'd transport myself right back to 2016 with 3 of my best buds and just fucking rip PUBG for 16 hours a day until that little time travel experience was over. That was actually peak gaming. And buy Bitcoin? Nah, I don't care about that. I just mean the gaming. Another good one was Apex when it came out. Basically, it's like there's some like perfect storm of playing a game that's great when it first comes out, which is kind of rare because like a lot of games now launch in like they're in beta or alpha forever and they're not truly out or perfected. But like so you need a game that's actually like releases pretty much done. And then it needs to be good, and then everyone needs to be playing it, and then you need to be someone who's good at getting good at games fast. And that like little like 2 to 3 week window before the average player gets like starts understanding the game is just the most euphoric time in games because you just absolutely slaughter everyone and you're learning at the same time. That shit gets so much fun. When it gets like super meta and everyone figures out what to do and it's just like it's not quite as good as that window. It only lasts for a certain amount of time in every game, and I never really care enough to like main those games. It's just like you just play it for that window, and it's the best thing ever. Dude, Plunderstorm, very similar. Plunderstorm was fucking amazing, dude. You're just dropping in there for like 2 weeks, just killing the entire fucking lobby. Max, do you feel boss design has taken a wait, let me see. A healthy design with bosses like Nexus King? Uh, what do you mean? What is like what specifically are you talking about? Like what part of Nexus King do you think is healthy or unhealthy? A healthy turn meaning challenging mechanically then requiring what? Oh, then requiring weak auras? I feel like you don't understand Nexus King. You're just like saying shit, which is fine. Max, you're gonna have to find a new favorite food from the new chef this tier. Dude, I might already have one. I went there a few times now for random ass photo shoots and video stuff. I think I've eaten meals from the new chef like maybe 6, 7 times. And every single one of them was fucking crazy good. They were so good. No Heidi? Yeah, Heidi's gone. What happened to Heidi? She's gone. Like, she didn't die. She's just, like, not with Team Liquid anymore. Boo, no more Twitter beefs. Dude, honestly, I didn't really like that. I thought that was, like, kind of weird. It was, like, initially, like, holy shit, what is happening? And then it was just, like, really rude for no reason. Were the chefs beefing or something? I guess you could call it that. I'm pretty sure what happened was just the Echo chef, just like assistant chef or something, just tweeted like some of the food they were making because they were proud of it, and Heidi was just like, that shit sucks. And it was like, what's happening? And then it was like, why would you say that? Max, are you still working with the guy that watches over health and water intake this time around? We're still implementing all of his systems, but he is not with us. I think he's at the Esports World Cup, which is definitely Liquid's big like investment right now, which really sucks. He really helped us. Another thing that's different about this race too is our raid is going to be split between 2 locations. It's not. I would say there's some positives and some negatives to this. I would definitely lean towards it not being like entirely ideal, but it's fine. We have, why does it have to be split? So previously we had like all of our players come to the Santa Monica facility. But this time we can't do that because the league team is in town. So we just can't take the whole space. So we're sending all of our European players to the Team Liquid has a facility in Utrecht in the Netherlands. So our players will be there. Half, like roughly half. No, a little less than half of our players will be there. Will latency be an issue? No. They have under 100 ping there. They're totally fine. The ping isn't an issue at all. There's some benefits, like these European players don't have to take 15-hour flights and completely fuck their sleep like 2 days before the event, which like absolutely matters. So we don't have to deal with that. We're way less likely to get sick, and probably half the raids we've done, some kind of illness goes throughout the whole team. And as you can probably imagine, playing games for 16 hours a day, being sick isn't great. This like vastly reduces the chance of that happening. We also have some weird shit going on with like people coming into the country, and this country being really weird with that at the moment. Don't want to deal with that at all. When we take bathroom breaks, there's only like 6 bathrooms in the entire facility, and we have like, including analysts, like almost 40 people there, plus production. So like anytime we're on a bathroom break, they take really long because there's just simply way too many people and not enough bathrooms. So that'll get solved as well. So there's some benefits. The obvious, you like to be with your whole team kind of thing. That matters. So kind of sucks for that reason. Max, on the TL channel, will they have streams from both facilities? I have no idea. People will be streaming from the EU facility, so in a way, yeah. Time zone shit must be weird. Yeah, that's not awesome either. Like they're gonna be, they're still like gonna be they're basically already on the NA schedule right now. But yeah, that NA schedule is like walking to the facility at like 5 p.m. and going to bed in the morning for where they live. There's a decent amount of science around that being really bad for you, specifically around like grave shift or graveyard shift workers for like multiple years, but very, very short stint of like a week and a half. It's not that big of a deal. You can also do a bunch of things to simulate seeing sunlight and the sunset and things like that we can utilize. We've also done this before when we played from London in the Eternal Palace Race to World First. Our entire guild did this. We've done it before. Is the Liquid League team good? I don't follow League. I have no idea, but that's not really relevant. Like Team Liquid as an org was like built off of the League team in StarCraft back in the day. So yeah, they would. That's just how it is. They would. Not that this matters, but they would definitely turn us all into juice for the League team if it helped them in any way. They are definitely the top dog at Liquid. I think I might have missed the point of Preach's video, but what I meant earlier on was Blizzard was inspiring hard and unique mechanics from other games than having a puzzle in the game which you can't consistently solve during the encounter, thus requiring weak auras. I have no idea what video you're talking about. I don't know how that applies to Nexus King more than any other WoW boss. I have no idea, man. Max, what mechanic was the most fun for you personally to problem solve ever? There's a few of them. I would say right up there was last season. Even though it wasn't a super hard boss, problem solving a boss you have no dungeon journal for, like Chrome King Gallywix, was fucking insanely fun. So that's right up there. The decrees on Ashara was really fun to do a thing for. Like the entirety of Ansarek constantly required like updating. I mean, they're all just going to be end bosses because like end bosses just require the most from you. Oh, Stone Legion Generals is a great shout, actually. As bad of a boss as that was, because every single pull you had different mechanics. Because of that, your timers didn't work. So I felt really valuable as a raid leader because you could memorize like the exact cast sequence of like if the boss's cast sequence is fucked up and now it can cast Eruption, Wicked Blades, and like the 5 other mechanics he can do. You have to memorize what order the boss prioritizes them in. Right? Because like a Wicked Blade could be about to happen in 2 seconds, but because of some spell queuing, it just missed this other ability that takes slight priority over Wicked Blades, and now it changes, and your boss timers weren't telling you that, but you as a raid leader could kind of memorize those things and like accurately call what's about to happen because no one else could. And I was good at that on Stone Legion. I think it helped us a lot, and that was like really fun to problem solve in a really, really weird way. It's like designing a boss where basically only a person sitting on the outside could actually tell you what's going on instead of timers. That's what Stone Legion was. Where did you recruit Timbermaw from? To be honest, man, I have literally no idea. I have no idea what guild he was from. All right, checking for liquid groups in the finder, like you should be. Oh, there's 5. Get the fuck in there. Get in there. Get in there now. You get the amount of gold that's posted on the screen right now. Echo paid 100k though. All right, change regions. That feel when you would join a Mythic Zero run to help, but can't because you can't trade anything. You could, kinda, because can't you craft 681 gear right now? I don't know if you can craft a 681 trinket though. Echo didn't pay 100k. Echo was only paying 20k for jewelry. I mean, I could see that going up. They have to compete with another guild in their region who are competing for the exact same traders, so I imagine they probably had to increase their prices. It was 100k for World Tour. Weren't they just paying whether or not you traded? I have no idea how much they're paying. They're a different guild than me. I don't know if Method paid anything. Yeah, you might not have to. I mean, honestly, this is definitely one of those cases where we are doing something because there's nothing else to do. Like, for example, if any of our guilds decided to not do a single Mythic Zero this week on any character, I bet their chance to win the race does not change even 0.1%. It probably doesn't change anything. The reason we're doing this is because you always do something to try to improve or get better in any way. Which is why this is a great deal for you, in a way, because this gear can only potentially matter for us and cannot ever matter for you. Unless you care about having a higher eye level this week for some reason, but going into the actual season, this gear, none of this gear will matter. Ever. It's just for us. Which is why if you do have the ability to trade this stuff, it is low-key free gold. Low-key. What value do you see in this gear? Slightly easier splits? Yeah, so getting like a weapon, for example, and upgrading it with just the crest you don't care about for like your main. can help splits a little bit. But I mean, technically, shouldn't splits be easier than they are in any other tier? Not that this doesn't matter, because like the easier the tier gets, like very few, almost no one split Muggsy at all last year, or if they did, it was with barely any helpers. But if the raid was a lot easier, it's not just that your splits would go faster, you would actually be able to split bosses you otherwise couldn't. Right? But like, think about it. So if we can assume this one fact, which I think is true, in that what Blizzard bases heroic raid tuning off of is based off of the eye level that it drops. I think that's a pretty basic assumption. I believe that is true. Like, if you just go into any tier, how hard they want heroic to be is almost certainly just directly related to the level of eye level it drops. So, like, if you go into a patch minus 40 eye levels from the heroic raid and you go in on day one, you might get slaughtered. Where if you're going in only like 26 eye levels below, it should be significantly easier than 40, right? So it's always just tuned to whatever the standard is of the eye level that is dropping. I think that's a fair assessment, and it's most likely how that works. If that's true, we are going into this season with relatively higher eye level than any raid in the past like 3 years because of the turbo boosting last patch. And that's just including the turbo boosting. The 6 eye levels or whatever you got from turbo boosting. This, you're also getting a week of Mythic Zeros to get people caught up on turbo boost gear if they didn't have it. And an extra week, an extra vault next Tuesday. Right, so like, from starting day one of splits, this raid should feel, and this is a weird metric to use, but relatively 6 to 8 eye levels easier than a normal heroic split feels like. And that can make your splits more consistent, can make them faster, and it can allow you to split bosses you otherwise would not. The jump is still plus 39. Oh, they did it plus 39 from the turbo boost eye level, not from last year's mythic eye level. Max is just yapping so much just to be wrong. Dude, that's fucking what I do, bro. Alright, W. Well, it's still going to be easier then, though, right? Because you have, you're going to have a vault going in, so you might have some people just, like, randomly get 2-piece for splits. Like, any non-main character can just get tier piece from vault, slam a quick catalyst on a character you're not going to play. And we got this big cloak, although I would assume the cloak is probably factored into tuning. Max, did you see that Mighty Teapot got a casting gig for Method this tier? Y'all should poach him to cast after the tier. Yeah, if he's good, that'd be great. Would Liquid ever have 2x raid teams and raid 24/7? No, we wouldn't, and also that wouldn't make you any better. That is probably one of the most referenced and asked things from the community that would gain you absolutely nothing. Unless you could... No, even if you could account share, you'd gain nothing. Are you guys doing any Floodgate Mythic Zeros? Probably, yeah. Here, check the group finder, buddy. Got 2 of them right here. What you actually need to do is have one team that raids 24/7. You could do that. Over time, though, the trend is actually to raid less. So like if you compare the Race World First now to like 2 years ago, our guilds are, even 3 years ago probably, our guilds are raiding like 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours less a day than we were then. Sleep is bis. Yeah, sleep and recovery are part of it. Part of it is how many good hours you can even play in a day. And it's just a long race. If the race was over in 3 days, you'd sleep way fucking less. But it's not. So, yeah. Because you're all old now? Yeah, everyone's so elderly, we just require more sleep. Are you worried that AI is coming to steal your jobs? No. I feel like everything about what I do is probably not replaceable by AI. At least in the short term. Like, no one would take a like raid team using AI. Like literally AI raiders. Like, what are we doing here? Like, that's not even the same thing. You'd compete in a different category if that was even a thing. And then being a content creator to sit here and yap. I don't know if you guys have watched like AI content, but like that is the farthest thing ever away from taking the job. But maybe eventually. I definitely don't want to look at the version of society where people actually don't watch original content anymore. They just watch only AI created content. It certainly is not impossible to see because it's already Black Mirror as fuck, right? So it could certainly get worse. It's just, that just sounds like literally the end of humanity. Like the human race is just actually cooked. I actually read a report this week actually, or heard a summarization of it, about how they've been doing some investigating into how basically lower end Gen Z and like super young kids are interacting with ChatGPT, and it's like super parasocial. It's not asking for like things of information. Like they got a hold of some this is the kids willingly gave it up, but like just for the sake of research, they let them just see their ChatGPT history, and it's just full on conversations. Basically constant interaction with the AI and the kid, right? Which is having all kinds of repercussions. And basically part of the study was that kids like basically just don't even read text anymore in high school, and almost every, something unsurprising to maybe is you as that like basically every single essay is cheated, things like that. But it's wild, man. Problem solving skills obviously significantly impacted. I've never typed a prompt into ChatGPT ever, by the way. I'm gonna try to keep it that way too. No fucking no clankers. No clankers around here. Dude, okay. I'm becoming okay with clanker. But bro, the other robot slurs sound so much worse. Have you guys heard someone rip wire back before? That sounds like, you hear that shit and you do a double take and you're like fucking like, what did you just fucking say? Like, what the, bro, can you say that? Holy shit. Bro, that, like, I'm offended by that and I'm not even a robot. You know what I mean? I mean, it definitely depends on what industry you're in. Like, I'm in the best industry ever where I just stream every now and then because I feel like it, and then I just play hockey every other hour of the day. So, like, what do I need to chat GPT? But imagine you have to, like, write reports. Or one thing I've seen AI seemingly be really fucking good at is taking notes during a meeting. Like, that's just, like, boring-ass fucking... You're not learning anything by doing that, and it's just, like, automatically doing it for you, and apparently it does it really well. Like, bro, if you're, like, in that line of work, that shit's just... It's just free as fuck.
A new division of Shadow Guard amasses in Shadow Point. Strike them down.
Max, and unironically, is AI used in any way by analysts or just generally behind the scenes in the guild? I wouldn't be the person to ask for that, but my guess is no. What's this area you're in, Max? I actually don't know what it's called, but it's kind of a vibe. Koresh? Is that right? Yeah. K apostrophe Aresh. Alright, quick 5-minute check for liquid in the dungeon finder. Oh, there's nothing right there, but keep your eyes peeled, boys. Hey Max, I know it's early, but how is Shaman this new season for Mythic Plus and Raid? I don't know, man. It's probably great. It's the best, actually. It's the best at all of those things. Max, plug your tier list video. No. If they want it, they can find it. Like, if you already are, like, trying to search for a tier list video, you're about that shit. But I'm not trying to push tier lists on people that already don't know about them. They're just living in the world carefree. Just let them keep going.
The great dragon, Reshanor, tears freely in and out of untethered space, devouring all.
Max is a bit pissy today, huh? Am I?
To an end.
I am a little, I'm not pissy. I'm just like, I'm just hanging out. I don't know. No more than usual. Damn. Okay. A little snappy, actually mad? Well, maybe I'm mad. Maybe I'm mad then. I'll just blow up. Have the casters for the race been announced yet? No idea. Will Dratnos cast? I hope so. Dratnos is the GOAT. He's my GOAT. Although I probably should film content today. We should do potty today. We need to get ahead on our Patreon content if we're gonna be going away for the race. Damn, this place does look kind of cool, huh? It's pretty sick looking little backdrop.
shadow god harry us from all sides, even across plains. We must not be caught.
Hey Max, do you guys get tested for performance enhancers during the race? No, by who? Like the People's Coalition of the Race to World First? Like Blizzard? Do you think Blizzard fucking Ian's coming in there with a little tester kit? I mean, nah. I don't even know, like, really what kind of performance enhancers you could even take that would actually even be good for this, that would be considered, like, fishy. People mention Adderall, that's, like, just would be insanely bad. It would not help you at all. Maybe... Yeah, some copium. Copium would help. What else would be good? I mean, it's mostly just like supplements you would take to promote brain health all the time, especially if like in a normal gamer diet you don't get them. But that's not performance enhancing drugs, you know? Like for the race, like what's the most important thing to supplement? Like probably like vitamin D, which would make most people supplementing vitamin D make sense depending on what you do, but especially for gamers. Probably want some like omega-3 stuff. And then other than that, you just want to drink a lot of water and sleep enough. Probably the worst thing that is done in the Race to World First that is absolutely hindering performance, but it's an epidemic and can't be stopped, is the consumption of caffeine. Like, no question. People, even when we're explaining to them the science behind it to their face, they will just open up a can of Monster at like 10 p.m. and be like, bro, I can sleep just fine. And you just, no matter how many times you tell them, it has nothing to do. Why it's bad has nothing to do with your inability to fall asleep as to why it's torching your sleep. And you just explain, like, you know how you feel tired every day? You know how you feel, like, out of it? And you just drink a Monster or any caffeinated thing to fix that? How it's, like, an endless cycle, and it's not... Like, you are literally playing worse almost instantly into the race by doing this decision. And they're like, yes, I understand that. I'm still going to do it. It's fucking crazy. You'd have to wean them off of caffeine like a month or two. Oh, caffeine's fine. Caffeine's great. I use caffeine. I cycle on and off of it, but and you need to do that for it to even be effective. Like if you need to drink caffeine, if you're using caffeine for its benefits and you're using it every day to the point where if you don't, you get a headache of like caffeine withdrawal, you're not even like getting the same benefit of caffeine you initially got because your body's just used to it. You need so much more to get it, and you start just taking an unhealthy amount. The issue with caffeine is actually not taking it. It's taking it at the wrong time. Or not like weaning yourself off of it so when you do have caffeine, it actually does something to you. Yeah, the smartest thing you could do before the race for sure is not drink caffeine. Or wean yourself off of it so you don't get bad withdrawals. And then once the race starts, having like caffeine at the beginning of the day. And then very importantly, that depends on when you're going to sleep, but probably like 8 hours before you go to sleep, you have 0 extra caffeine. And don't drink a ton in the morning because it has a half-life. But we've explained this all to the guild. We've made it very clear, and it's just some people are just gamers are gamers, man. Max, who drinks caffeine like crazy during the race? I would say Nick is easily the biggest offender. I feel like Shaq is an energy drink guy. Shaq drinks G. Do you think Blizzard will ever accidentally make a racial super broken for progression in Race World First kills like the troll thing or with Mythic Jaina?
A new division of
No. I don't think that'll ever happen again.
Shadow Point.
Mainly because like they've nerfed or removed most of those things that weren't super obvious. Like the troll thing was just like such a random interaction. But yeah, like for example, like things that can just completely break fights now are like Shadow Meld, but it doesn't work, and Stone Form to remove bleeds. But for the past 4 years, anytime a fight was like Stone Form actually worked, they and it was an important fight, they very quickly changed that bleed to be like unimmutable. So, and that's really easy to pay attention to. So I doubt that that would be the case. Ooh, actually, Worgen last year was pretty insane, but that probably won't happen again either since they nerfed it. Max, there's some fake liquid Mythic Zeros going up and asking people to register on a site. Max, yeah. So obviously, no matter what, if you guys join a run that's titled Liquid and you see someone leading the group that isn't in Liquid, just like obviously immediately leave. They're scamming you. And if someone tells you to go to a website, hopefully you know not to do that. I mean, that wasn't really their fault, though. No one would have guessed having 4 feet on the balls would increase damage like that. Yep. I just kind of feel bad for Worgen players in general. I don't even really know how many people there are, but it just feels dumb having their movement racial on all fours nerfed because of one Mythic Raid fight, because of a bad interaction. What was the interaction? If you use the Worgen racial, the movement racial on all fours, well, right before you got on these sticks, like junk ball or whatever, it just went super fast and triple hit the boss, which was why Scott Brexit was doing so much damage on our sticks kill. But they fixed that exploit right after. Wait, so that was real? Yeah. Oh yeah, we used an exploit for that. Oh, the atrocity UI thing doesn't work where it hides your action bars. How do you even see the action bar at the bottom? That shit looks small as fuck. It is really small. I never look at anything down here. It's just on the screen. In fact, there used to be a macro, this option panel, used to be able to, like, just press a keybind and it would just remove this. I'm never... Basically, that's the point of these weak aura packages. This thing you see in front of my character, these buttons that you see are the only ones that I care about seeing the cooldown for. And once you memorize your keybinds, you just want to minimize the amount of information to just the ones that matter. Some people also add the keybind to the weak aura. I just think that looks dirty, not clean. The world boss is hella healthy, by the way. 20 minutes to kill that shit. You can actually kill it way faster. If you remember from the campaign, you do that phase diving thing where you like go into the upside down. If you go walk to the world boss in that, which is what you're intended to do, you can kill it a lot faster. Just 0 people do that. I mean, yeah, I just made that the fuck up. I don't know if that's actually true. But it might be. I don't even know if you can get there with that. It is true? Wait. Is that actually true? Dude, fuck yeah.
Shadow God, harry us from
Let's go. That's a crazy makeup.
We must not be caught off guard.
Oh, there we go. That keybind does work. There we go. So you can hide it. You can hide your action bars. It just didn't work in combat. That's how everything should be. Dude, someone from TL just asked me, what brand of water do you want again? Bro, what? Bro, it's water.
The great dragon, Greshenor, tears freely in and out of untethered space, devouring all that is left of our world.
Get Voss. Alright, let me see. Give me Voss in the glass bottle type shit. Dude, I've never actually heard anyone use type shit in their regular like vocabulary. It was just like a bit in our guild, right? And I'm sure it came from people actually using it, but then I watched Love Island and Jeremiah actually just rips type shits all the time. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy. It's crazy hearing people use it in the wild. Like, it's basically answering, like, yes to something. He's like, you want to do that? And he's like, type shit. It's fucking crazy. You watched Love Island? Yeah, that shit was juicy as hell.
We have a rare opportunity to study phase storms. Don't be afraid to dive in. You'll need to gather readings, manuals.
Did you just refer to someone on Love Island by their first name, like everyone knows who they are? I mean, no, I don't know his last name. And, I mean, what else would I guess I could have said some guy on Love Island. I guess that'd be fine.
Hello, traveler. Wait, what was I going to ask about? Oh, you're right. Tools.
Bro, once you get a girl, all you do is watch reality shows, I swear. Bro, I'm actually the person pushing for the reality shows. I find them very interesting. I find it very fascinating. I have to, like, beg her to watch them. Bro, all she wants to watch is anime? Yeah. My girlfriend was trying to get me to watch some anime the other day. That new Netflix one, the K-pop Demon Girls or whatever. Yeah, shit's good anime. Songs from that shit fucking slap, though. God, you can do this bit every couple days, and it works every time. Because there's just enough new people that will all hit the that's not anime. It always works, man. Watching some new cartoons, Cowboy Bebop and One Piece. Ripping some old school anime like Dexter's Lab. Johnny Bravo Goat anime. What about Ben 10? Yo, how do you replicate that feeling as an adult of like watching some cool ass shit for the first time? It can be a bunch of different IPs, but like Star Wars. Like watching Star Wars when you're a kid and you're just like, "What?" I guess you maybe can't. The only thing you can do is just complain about the new versions of that IP because they'll never be as good as the one as you watched when you were a kid. At least that it seems like that's what people do. I thought I thought that was like something that plagued WoW a lot. As like people like WoW has huge like people are hating the game and it's just huge. You're not going to be a kid again energy.
Shadow point.
And I was talking to Datto about that, and he was like, "Dude, Destiny has that crazy mode. Like Destiny has." He argued that Destiny had the most like, you're not most people's concerns could be solved with you're not going to be them understanding that you're just not going to be a kid again. Did you see the Galliwix bug that is maybe how they wanted the fight to be on Mythic? Yeah, someone showed it to me yesterday. It's not how the fight was originally going to be made. It's just a bug. But, I mean, the crazy thing is if that bug went live, it still would have been, like, just an extremely normal... Here, let me find it. It's in my... I don't know why it wasn't, like, a Twitch clip. I had to, like, download it yesterday. I think it's this. Yeah, bro, this is it. Check this shit out. There, look at this. This was Galliwix yesterday. This shit's just fucking flying around the room, bro. Look at that shit. The thing is, if that went live like that, I mean, Galliwix takes... How many more polls does Galliwix take? Like, maybe 0? Why does this character not have the right plater? To be honest, nobody has killed Galliwix since the patch on Mythic. Well, wait, nobody? Like, Galliwix has not been killed this reset by anyone? It's unkillable? Or, I guess that doesn't mean it's unkillable, but... Oh, interesting. It also could be that there's just not a lot of teams pulling it. But yeah, because, like, you can't still get cutting edge, so it's like, why? Guess you do it for bounce. If I'm gonna guess, it being unkillable is really, even though it hasn't been killed, it being unkillable is really unlikely. Like if I were a betting man and we were to go in there and try to kill it, I feel like we would do that. Prove it? Well, I guess I shouldn't have said that because I can't prove it. We're just not going to do that. Max, it is currently because it ticks every 0.1 to 0.3 seconds. So if you ever try to cross any circle, it hits you for 20 to 30 mil before you're over it. Only blink works. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I guess in the inner... Well, couldn't you just never swap sides? Why do you need to... leave a side. Right? Or not Mana Forge, sorry. Oh, never mind. So you're here. This part of the room is unplayable. And because the fight is bugged and you can't cross any lines, the red circles. The ad intermission, you have to, or you die to the bomb circles. Do the bomb circles kill you? I don't remember them hitting that hard. Suppression for melee. Can't you have the boss here, and then instead of the melee playing here, they just play here? And then now you have this entire side to do suppression. Same thing this side. You just do that. Oh yeah, let me get my money for this guy. Yo, Sin Chow from Thrall, come get your money, big guy. I gotta get my WoW token off my monk. Max, now that Soul Hunters has been confirmed required for Hall of Fame, does that by proxy make it mandatory for the rate? Yep. Yes. The answer is yes. Got some interesting takes when asking this question. Saying no, it's always been last boss wins. See Heimall. That's not how Heimall worked. Paragon didn't win Heimall by killing the last boss. They killed Butcher before Method killed Imperator. They were 7 out of 7 Mythic before Paragon, or before Method was. That's not what happened. Okay. They just chose to kill that other boss first. Bro, if Paragon was only 6 out of 7 Mythic, and they killed Imperator, and Method killed Imperator and was 7 out of 7 Mythic before the other one was 6 out of 7, there would have been crazy controversy. Wait, why is my mail not coming in? Wait, was this the character that I auctioned the WoW tokens on? Which character did I can you see your dude, is it not done? There's no way it took an entire day for a WoW token to sell, right? Yeah, it's a different character, right? Reload. Relog or reload. It might have been on another character. Nah, we're good. Max, will you just go to Soul Hunters when you progress to that point, or will you try to stall till someone else goes? I don't know. I don't know whether we're going to go to Soul Hunters or Fractalus first. But what I imagine will happen is whatever one we go to first is the one that... whatever one we would go to first is the one that everyone will go to first. That's what happened last raid. Whenever you had the option to choose between Styx and Sprocket, we went to Styx, and therefore everyone went to Styx. No one went to Sprocket. Us and Echo did some tester pulls on Sprocket off stream. That is not going to Sprocket. It's not progressing the boss. The reason for that is once we choose to do Styx, we are the guild giving away information. So if you're Echo or Method, why would you go to the boss, another boss, and become the guild figuring everything out and giving away information if you don't have to? You always want to be the one gaining information if you can, especially early in a race. So that'll be what happens again. They only went to it 4th on the boss. list in the journal, there was when you were doing Styx, and Styx was way harder than anyone imagined, there was no way or reason to know or think that Sprocketmonger would have been harder. Right, you could have easily gone there and maybe... Here's the thing. If Styx is a 100 pull boss, and let's just say Sprocket was a 40 pull boss, or 30, it would still be the correct decision to do Styx first if you're a Method or Echo. Because even if the other boss is a 30 pull boss, you're still going to save us time by going there and spending your own time figuring it out. Why is your screen sparkling? What add-on is that? Wait. What the fuck is this? What is fucking happening on the bottom of my screen? That's your cloak? It's just a game bug? It's the cloak effect? What? It's magic, bro. How do you guys decide when to come back from going dark? What are the parameters to come back on stream? A new day procs? You just wake up and proc a new day? You only go dark at the end of the day? Never at the beginning and then come back? The only time it ever makes sense to go dark is when your opponent is sleeping. So, yeah, we come back on the new day. We've never started a day dark. We'll only ever end one. Except for when we literally went dark by losing power. Which still, due to propaganda, some people think was scheduled, which is insane. That almost turns me into the Joker as much as when people said in Vault of the Incarnates that we slept in. It was just like completely baseless and untrue. In fact, the opposite was true. We even woke up early. But it was just like someone said it, and people just started repeating it. W misinformation. Yep. Max, if other guilds get there first and choose either boss, would you guys follow? Oh, yeah. For the exact same logic that I just described to you. That being said, it would be kind of fucking insane if we were not the first guild to kill Forge Reaver. That would be insane. The only way that isn't true is if the first 4 bosses are really easy and one of the other really good guilds who just simply does a day less of splits than us goes in and kills Forge Reaver because it's like not very hard. Like instant dollars or something. But like last year, Styx was just too hard for that to happen. Can you trade Mythic Zero gear without having the same eye level? Nope. Max, are you concerned that the faster X-Pax cadence is leading to only getting 8 bosses of raid for the rest of the saga? I don't know. I spoke to Ian and Morgan, and I said, I asked them at lunch without any prompting. I was like, what do you guys think is the ideal amount of bosses for a Mythic raid? And they both paused for a second and then just both said 10 at the same time. So, like, you all know I'm a big 10 boss. I'm a big 10 boss enjoyer. I think 10 is objectively better than 8. I think more than 10 is too many. I think 10 helps smooth out the weird difficulty curve that exists between Rashonan and Brood Twister. And Rick Reverb and Styx Bunk Junker. When you have more bosses to smooth out that curve, it just seems to be a little better. Like, how hard a first boss is kind of, you kind of know what to expect there, right? And how hard an end boss is, barring Gallywix, you kind of know what to expect there. You know what a second to last boss is, all of that stuff. But with 8 bosses, it's just so hard. It's such a steep climb to go from like first to end boss that I just don't think the 6 bosses in between can do that without there being a huge jump at some point, which feels really bad. Confusing that they both think 10 is ideal, but we keep getting 8 bosses this whole X-Pack. I mean, to be fair, when I asked them this, at that point, every single raid in this expansion had already been done. They'd already been completed, so. Max, are you guys researching the planned power outages or weather before this race and have backup generators planned now? How did this change your planning, or what did you learn from it, or what will change going forward because of that power outage? In parentheses, not including learning that people spreaded misinformation. Thanks for answering my questions. Yeah, that's good. To be fair, a planned power outage midday is wild. That's because it wasn't a planned power outage. Something blew up. I fucking blew up too. Max, is this week actually busy for you guys? It's busy for our raiders. For at least the next few days. But generally, no. Preach confidently reporting on that was insane. It's not that insane. Max, reminder to hit some exercise to stay active. Yeah, so basically I've resigned myself during the race that like a decent amount of my cardiovascular fitness is going to get absolutely torched just because there's no way to actually get the kind of cardio that I'm training during the race, which is mainly like lactic and alactic training, anaerobic training. You just simply don't have enough time in the race to build your aerobic system, like doing longer, slightly higher heart rate stuff, like general stuff like running and biking and stuff like that. You just don't have time for me to do multiple hours of cardio, right, to maintain what I have. But you could do, I guess, like shorter. You still don't have time to really do like shorter like sled pushes or heavy fan bike or anything like that. It's just you just don't have enough time. And anything that you do have enough time for, I don't want to sacrifice any performance in the race. But something I'm thinking about doing is like I need actually someone to create a workout plan for me. I can kind of do a shitty one, but basically I want to microdose exercises. I want to do like if we have a 20-minute lunch break and a 45-minute dinner break, I want to do like 10 minutes of stuff in the morning, like literally like a superset or 2 exercises. When I get to the facility, just in my room, I'll probably bring some adjustable dumbbells, a kettlebell, and like a stability ball. And then just kind of rotate between like RDLs, split squats, lunges, stability ball, core stuff. And then like just basically have those be the main thing, and then just each time superset it with like some push-ups and bring like a pull-up bar. Like super basic shit, just main muscle group, easy stuff that you can travel with. Get a little treadmill at the desk? Nah, that would be useless. Walking doesn't do anything for me, and running while raid leading is a complete meme. It would be fire content, yeah. If we ever wipe, 1% faster. Do you need players from EU to be able to compete, or are there enough good players from NA alone? Like roughly, like a little less than half of our guild is EU players. Over the years, we've just taken the best player we could find, not necessarily trying to stick to a certain region. So if we lost all of our EU players and replaced them with the best NA replacements we could find, we would certainly be worse. That same thing could be said of whether we lost our NA players right now and replace them with the best EU players we could find. They would also be worse than what we have now. Or even replace those NA players with other NA players. So I don't really know, other than like we'd certainly be worse. How much worse? I don't know. Like, do we need them to compete? We could have all NA players and we'd compete just fine. Let's just say there's the best player ever wanting to join Liquid, but there's a language barrier. Like, they couldn't understand us at all. I don't think that would work. Because, like, I think we definitely have some players that are at the level where, like, when you're saying best player ever, you're probably just assuming they're as good or slightly better than them. And would those players work if you just couldn't communicate with them in real time? The answer is probably it wouldn't be worth it. Like 3 or 4 years ago might have been worth it. Now it's that sacrifice wouldn't be worth it. There's just as many players in the guild as good as them, and the communication thing would be a huge hit. Max, is there any reason for the disparity between NA and EU players, or simply how things are? I don't understand. Do you mean our guild being like half NA and half EU? That wasn't done by design. I think you're going to have just every time we needed a new player, we're like, okay, let's take everything that's available to us, which is every guild everywhere. So we'll just take the best player we can find. And sometimes they're from NA and sometimes they're from EU. Max, has there ever been a comp that ran all 3 specs of the same class? So Monk has never happened. Druid has never happened. Maybe Paladin has happened. And maybe Priest has happened. Warrior? I don't believe so. Shaman, definitely not. DK, definitely not. Like in the race world first. Hunter? Almost certainly not, except Anduin, MM, BM, and Survival were all really good. So you could have been Anduin, but I don't believe that's actually how it played out. Like I remember on Anduin, we had Survival Hunters, we had MM, and we had BM at certain points of progression, and we ended up, I think, using 2 of them, but not 3, but you could have used 3. Sark had all 3 Pally, someone said. Oh, there we go. So Sarkreth. You know what's funny? DH only has 2 specs. But have we ever played a Vengeance and a Havoc? I don't think so. I don't believe so. Nathria? You didn't play Havoc in Nathria. Max, has Warband significantly changed the way you all prep? Nope. I guess you could kind of do that in this. I mean, it'd be super cursed. Like, couldn't you? The world boss gives you a 688 Warband item per account, right? The first time on your account you kill it, not character. If that's true, what you could do is have 16 characters, and then on your account, your Battle.net account, you have a bunch of different WoW accounts. Like, let's just make it up and do the most extreme answer here, 16. So you buy 16 copies of the expansion, and you're paying 16 monthly subs. You would get 16 688 pieces. Now, if everyone in your guild did this, your eye level for splits would go up very slightly. The only problem is that would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, all things considered, across every guild. No one's going to do that. That's just nonsense. Too expensive. It's literally just to make splits easier. It's not even for progression gear. 680 gear and progression is dog shit. Don't you guys spend hundreds of thousands during a world first race anyway? Well, we invest hundreds of thousands into our production for our event, in which it ends up being profitable and we make more than that. But we don't spend that on anything, and we don't spend any money on anything in game in WoW, other than, I guess, each of us individually pays our subs and stuff. But even if that was true, you're saying, well, don't you already spend hundreds of thousands every race? So it's basically saying, well, shouldn't you spend hundreds of thousands more? What? For nothing? For literally nothing? Fuck it, bro. You're already spending money. Just spend more. Hey Max, if Blizzard ever fucks up and makes a boss that super rewards stacking a certain spec over a balanced comp, which spec would be the one most likely to be stacked in your opinion? Moonkins and Shadow Priests, probably number one, just because the the niche of spread out cleave, regardless of how they're currently tuned, is just if they were to make a fight that was the only thing that mattered, they would just be so much better than everyone else. Another answer is just a class that ever happens to be tuned way, way higher than everyone else. Like Mage, honestly, is kind of crazy. It gets stacked as much as it does because it doesn't really have a niche that other people can't do. They're just often tuned really good. Or on Gallywix, they just had Cauterize. I think what else? I guess whatever healer spec, like I think a healer spec can be really stackable based on how broken they are in a specific patch. I guess arms warriors potentially. Like if you ever look at just a pure execute phase, you could end up playing them, like 4 of them as like imagine they made a boss like with as tight of a check as like Nexus Princess. Or, I mean, honestly, if they just did like Star Augur again, where you just had like you had a literal execute phase. There's been very few of these in WoW's history recently. Like, if they made the one-armed bandit check from 30 to 0 harder than every other point in the fight, like you would just run as many arms warriors as you could possibly gear. That's just historically, not saying how strong their execute is now or anything, but that's just like their niche. Funnel? I don't know if there's any stackable funnel specs because there's just a ton of good funnel classes now. A lot of really good ones, so it's not a... I don't think that niche is as interesting because there's just a ton of classes that do it. And then I guess the other answer is just a class that just has absolutely bonkers AoE on an AoE boss if they ever make one. So like kind of like Frost DK on Brood Twister. Riley, is it worth mating a Windwalker monk at 11.2? Is it far from meta at a high level? I mean, Windwalker is always fine. Windwalker is kind of constructed to be pretty much a good Mythic Plus class for all, like, at least average to mid, above average keys. They fall off in the very highest keys because they're just, like, weirdly target capped. Like a decent amount of classes are, but, like, I mean, if you're doing anything from 15 or below, like Windwalkers probably will be great for the rest of time. They're just built to be good at Mythic Plus. Who are the Warlocks on roster that will be streaming? THD plays Warlock for us usually, and he streams. Haven't gotten a Mythic Zero plug in a while. Let's check that group finder. None in there right now, but make sure to keep searching for liquid. All right, I think my stream battery ran out.